You're listening to the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. Listener discretion is advised at all times.
Hello and thank you once again for downloading and listening to another episode of the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show, part of the very busy, these days, very busy Social Suplex Podcast Network. There's been shows dropping all over the joint this past week. We've got Rich Latta putting up columns left, right and centre on the Social Suplex website. And last but not least at all, we've got Ricky. Good evening, Ricky, and how are you tonight?
Good evening. I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm alright, thanks. It's been a bit mental with the weather over here. I think it might be snowing tonight, actually.
It's been cold. Went to the street. It's like an ice rink.
I fell last night.
I nearly fell this morning. I was getting out of my house at it was 5 to 6, and I was running a bit late, so I quickly started doing that sort of half sprint, half sort of walk. And driveway was fine. As soon as I hit the pavement, I started sliding, so I was like, okay, just need to take my time. But it's cold.
So stay safe out there, folks, in the bad weather. So while WWE's respective main event titles focus on a 7-month-long failed project and Jobber Jinder, as well as potentially adding the big red dinosaur to the Royal Rumble match to eat a pin, New Japan Pro Wrestling have got a battle for the ages on their hands, and I'm talking about Alpha versus Omega, Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. It's been quite an eventful few nights since we last spoke on the podcast, and they had the World Tag League finals on, and basically Jericho appeared battering Kenny Omega. Then the very next night, Omega got retaliation at the press conference, and it's basically turned into a sort of nice wee dream match into a bit of a blood feud. Have you been enjoying the build-up so far, Ricky?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's not exactly too different in terms of what I've seen before.
Aye.
I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying, oh, look at this, could you imagine WWE trying to do this? You're like, oh, hold on a minute, they do it quite a lot, but the build hasn't been anything different from what I've saw before. I think the build is because you're getting Jericho, quote unquote, WWE guy against Omega, a match you never thought would happen, and that's what's making it special. I liked when Jericho appeared in the ring and gave him the code breaker. I enjoyed that. The table bump in the press conference was brutal as well.
That was
Jericho
excellent.
literally throws the table and it catches up 3 or 4 guys like square in the face. You had a bit of profanity as well. So all of a sudden, the dream match feels really personal, which I think is adding to it. But I think more than anything, I think it's just because it's 2 guys you never ever thought were going to wrestle, and it's been a good build. So I'm really looking forward to it, and we're about 3 weeks away from it as well. Yeah. So no doubt something else might happen in between it. So yeah, it was a good watch.
This has got Jericho's hands all over it, I think, because he likes to have long-term storylines with his stuff with Mysterio, Shawn Michaels, even Kevin Owens last year. He likes slow builds and he likes to plot it out, and I think even with things like adding Don Callis into it when he got code breakered, and then giving Don Callis the middle finger at the press conference, this is all planned out, and it's good. Jericho's still got his creative juices flowing, and he was on fire at the press conference as well, swearing, cursing and blinding and flipping the bird to folk. It was excellent. So I mean, it's overshadowing the rest of the pay-per-view so far. I mean, this is coming from someone who's relatively ignorant towards the whole of New Japan wrestling, and obviously you've got Naito and Okada in the main event, so I'm not sure what's happening there, but this seems like the big match for Wrestle Kingdom 12 so far.
I think it's like like Undertaker and Roman Reigns was the main event, but Goldberg and Brock was also like class a main event. So I think it's similar to that. From what I've seen, bits of it and read things, they treat their main title as a sort of like a big deal, and it almost feels like I think that will definitely be like the quote unquote main event, and that'll probably close the show. I think they treat that like with a lot of respect. So and even you've got Cody on as well, defending his title. Sorry, is he? No, he's got his. Is it Ring of Honor? He's got
Ring of Honor with Ibushi.
Yeah, so you've got that as well. So that's like 3 great matches. But a lot of focus obviously is on Omega and Jericho, because I think, like I say, it's a sort of dream match, and it's a match no one expected to ever see. And to be quite frank, it came out of left field. No one saw it coming. I know a lot of people saw the back and forth on Twitter, but some people might have thought that was just a bit of banter. But it was obviously leading to this. But no, I don't think anyone expected it really to happen this soon, or if it even happen at all.
And it's quite surprising. So, not sure what it's going to be like, because they don't have weekly TV as far as I'm concerned for New Japan. I think they have their press conferences, so there will be more interaction. There's still a few weeks to go. Something else will happen.
Mm-hmm. Whether that's just something like maybe they've shot something before and they'll release it later on, or whether it's going to be something on social media. No doubt something will happen, because like I say, it's is it the 4th or the 5th of January? It is actually.
I think it's the 4th.
So that would be 3 weeks today then. So, like I say, it's more than anything, it's just that dream match element to it, and I think that's what's getting everyone really, really excited. And like the Chris Jericho, he's not the Chris Jericho of like 10 years ago. He's obviously his style's changed, but I think Omega will fly around the ring and bump for him, and it could be a really, really good match. I don't see why it won't be, because to be honest, Jericho's been involved in a lot of really, really good matches in the last sort of year, last year of his time in WWE. So, especially his last few with Kevin Owens as well. So,
I don't think, see the way it's turned out, it's not really an issue that Jericho's a couple of paces behind Omega, because it has turned into a blood feud. It's going to be a brawl more than it's going to be a wrestling clinic.
Like I said, even at that, with Omega's sort of agility and his ability to fly around the ring, he will bump for Jericho very well. So in that sense, you don't need to worry about that. It might be a somewhat of a fast-paced match at times as well, but like I said, I don't have any issues with Jericho sort of hanging in with Omega and really showcasing his ability. So yeah, I think bottom line is, because it's just we're getting really, really close to it now, and I think everyone's sort of adrenaline's going and we're all getting pumped up for it, and I think it will deliver.
I'm sure it will. The whole event will deliver anyway, that's a certainty.
Mm-hmm. I think it probably will just be like a one-off match. I really don't see it sort of going any further, which probably will tell you who's most likely going to win it, but that's not an issue. And I think that's what makes it even more special, because even though like a lot of people be like, oh well, if it's a one-off, we know who's going to win it, etc, etc, but it just adds to it. You're like, wow, we might never ever get to see this, so that's another element to it that sort of makes you more excited for it.
Aye, I am excited. It's got a nice way to bring in the new year, so let's start getting more excited. I've not really got anything else to say in that.
No, I think I have covered it, and like I say, we're only 3 weeks away, so we've not got long to wait now.
Aye, plenty of time for more stuff to go on. So we'll move on to some WWE stuff now, and we're joined by Barry, who hasn't been on for a few weeks, but welcome back to the show, Barry. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me back. It's a pleasure.
Not a problem.
No, the pleasure's all of us.
It is. So, as you say, we've not been on for a while, so how has your opinions been on WWE the past few weeks? We'll touch on Raw just now and we'll get to Smackdown later.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling about it?
Aye, just the sort of usual time of the year sort of lull. No, a great deal of stuff happening storyline wise. But I mean, some of the matches have been quite good actually on Raw and that. I found myself sitting through quite a lot of the matches as opposed to skipping through them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that week there, I thought there was quite a good few matches that I found they need not to skip by. But it's just a sort of usual time of the year, sort of just ready for it to end and ready to hit the Mania season.
I've really enjoyed the matches on Raw the last few weeks actually, this back and forth between the Shield and the Bar and Samoa Joe. See the matches, the individual Shield matches this week I thought were all really good for different reasons. Cesaro and
that surprised me, yeah.
Cesaro and Roman Reigns put on a really good show there. Cesaro worked on that arm like nobody's business through the whole match and really healed it up. There was a quick exchange in the Dean Samoa Joe match, which I just thought was top notch. Quick reactions from Samoa Joe. There was a bit when Jason Jordan came down and him and Joe were interlocked and Dean Ambrose did the suicide dive. And there was
That's right.
a stramash, loads of ruckus and stuff. Jordan was on the floor. Joe flung Dean back in and Joe did a quick senton bomb outside. I thought it just all happened within the space of 10 seconds and it was just a lovely 10 seconds of heightened action and it was excellent. And Seth Rollins, the Sheamus match, that was top notch. I really liked that one, and I was saying a couple of weeks ago how I've been enjoying Seth selling, where he was like nursing a rib injury during his interview with Renee Young, and this week he was doing the Falcon Arrow suplex stuff.
Oh aye,
hobbling,
with the knee injury,
hobbling on the knee.
That was brilliant.
Just subtle stuff, and I've always enjoyed Seth Rollins, but the last few weeks I've actually really enjoyed all the nuances and stuff that he's got going on. Do you agree with that one, Ricky?
Yeah, just sort of harking back to a couple of points you made beforehand as well. The 3 matches were excellent. You know, the 3-1 that the Shield were involved in. So, and it sort of ties in a way as well to the storylines they've got going on for the Bar and Joe as well. So I did thoroughly enjoy that. Like I said, I've been really enjoying Seth's work for a long time now. Because at first I wasn't too sold on the whole face, but it was probably in the sort of lead up to winning it back with Ambrose, and ever since it just seems like, you know, they've got a juicy phone and they've got that sort of that adrenaline and they're happy more than anything. Because you know yourself, like if you're not happy with going into your place of work, then it definitely is going to affect your performance. So. Yeah, I did enjoy those 3 matches, and also I know you referred to the Joe and Ambrose exchange as well. Roman and Cesaro had a great exchange as well, where Roman was setting up for a Superman punch, and he's coming in sort of mid-air, ready to land it, and Cesaro then just sort of does like a big sort of uppercut, sort of like clothesline thing to Roman's arm as it's coming close to him, which is kind of cool. I mean, those 3 were. I really did enjoy those 3 matches, but obviously the main event was a bit, you know, like who the fuck booked this sort of thing.
Well,
there was a point where Cesaro just couldn't stop uppercutting him in the corner at one point.
See, that's what I was going to pick up on. The actual wrestling that's been going on in Raw has been really good the last few weeks, but then you've got the Braun Strowman Kane feud going on, and all of a sudden it's a number 1 contendership match for the Rumble match with Lesnar, and it's a double count out, so you're led to believe that it's possibly going to be a triple threat match at the Rumble. Why on earth is that happening?
I thought that was going to happen anyway. I was going to say, like, Barry called that in the group chat as well, so
that's terrible.
I'll be honest with you, the most captivating story for me at the minute is actually, I never thought I'd say this, it's the women's story in Raw.
Really,
I'm all for it at the minute. I'm right into it actually. I think it's just sped out, where it's usually just one sort of woman bit in Raw. But this seems to be like you've got parts at the start, middle, and at the end, and even the Smackdown one's quite good and all, but it's just like a sort of more cheesier version of the Raw one, I suppose. But I've really enjoyed the women's stuff this well.
It's good that they're all involved. Actually, they're making good use of all of them, which they're bad for not doing at times. Because
I know
when you're seeing it, it's like you've got Paige, or who was it that Mickey James was involved in the match, and you think to yourself, oh, I forgot she was involved with them. But they've got them all involved now, and it seems like all the rest of the roster, even Alexa Bliss to a certain extent, is doing the face. I know she's kind of playing it easy, taking a back seat, but the rest of them, they're all gung-ho and trying to take over Absolution. So, and Ricky, we got a bit more further forward with Asuka's booking. What did you think of that specifically this week?
I know, was it last week you were telling me just to sort of be patient and see where it goes, and I don't know. If I'm honest, I still don't know.
Well,
I understand that in time she will get her hands on them and she'll dominate and just utterly just kill them. I said I still can't get out of my mind that I understand what you're saying. She walked away and she had a smile and she was sort of thinking like I'll get these at some point. I know he says that previously. I still can't ever get that out of my head that she backed away.
But she went for it this week though. She went to attack them.
She went for it in the first week.
Well,
I'm with Ricky here. Actually, I was quite disappointed with that as well.
I don't know. It's just I can understand it's that slow build to it, and you're getting to it. I don't know. I'm just there's certain people who I feel like I said before. John Cena, Roman Reigns, Taker, Brock Lesnar, etc. wouldn't have backed down. They wouldn't have walked away. And to me, that's Asuka's like the female version of some of those guys. It's in my eyes, anyway. And I just can't get it out of my head. I would have rather she got absolutely annihilated in the middle of the ring, and I'd have just been like, do you know what? It took 3 years to beat her down. No.
The first week I thought it was stupid. The second week, then I sort of gathered, I can see where they're going here. It'll culminate within the third or fourth week, and it happened in the third week, but it was just weird to see her take a sort of beating like that so early on. It's still early on in the main roster career, so.
And the other thing I don't like how Paige, Rose, and is it Deville? I don't like after what is it? It's been about 3 weeks, and now all of a sudden they're the ones that are running scared. Like they're running out the ring and they're backing away and they're getting pulled to safety, just because the Raw women have all united to stand against them sort of thing. Like, no, like couldn't you have dragged it out a bit longer? Like book them stronger. Like book them. You're not in the sense of burying folk, but you're just trying to make them three look a bit strong. And all of a sudden, a few weeks later, you've got them backpedaling. I felt that you could have dragged that out a bit longer.
It then becomes like sort of just a female version of the Shield, just the exact same as that, really. So they'll probably try to change it up a bit.
I can understand that, but I also sometimes there's nothing wrong with sort of doing something like recycling it every now and then. But
no. I
don't know. Maybe I'm nitpicking.
Yes, you are.
I might be, but
well, how many fought up against Absolution?
Sorry?
How many of them stood in the ring against Absolution at the end when Absolution ran scared?
It was the whole roster, wasn't it?
Exactly.
The whole women's roster, quite a few of them.
So that's understandable. They're chicken shit. They're coward heels. They pick on one person at a time, and then the roles have been reversed. It's turned back on them, and they think, no, I'm not having anything to do with that. So they run away.
Right, I know, but I hate comparing it to it, right? But the Shield annihilated everyone for a long, long time before they got their quote-unquote comeuppance. Like, honestly, they never really they weren't ever on the back foot until they had, it was like a 3-on-8 sort of tag match on Raw. Daniel Bryan was in that 8-man team, and I remember it because Roman dished out 2 absolute brutal looking fucking spears. One is Zack Ryder, and I can't remember who the other one to is, and Roman was the first one eliminated from the Shield, and it took a while for them to get their comeuppance. I don't know, it's just, let's say, maybe I am nitpicking.
Well, they can't really.
I would have liked them just to continue their dominance that little bit longer.
I don't think we'll get good booking for Absolution long term, because if you look at recent history, you've got, what was the name? The Welcoming Committee. That was dreadful. You had the whole Team Bad versus Team PCB, Team Bellas or whatever it was. That was all pretty naff in terms of like women's faction. So they're still struggling to find a decent long-term creative for all that women's faction. It's dead easy though. Don't know, the Riot Squad, it's still early for them as well. There's more of a focus on Charlotte and Natalya, but the Riot Squad it's basically a mirror image of each other, and because it's on SmackDown surrounded by a pretty lacklustre show, it doesn't get any sort of praise that it might deserve. I don't know if it does deserve praise though, but I don't know, maybe just they can't book women's wrestling in general, because it comes under scrutiny so many times. Anyone want to chime in there?
No, I think what that in this process, I think at the moment we're trying to build other female stars, and I think, look, where's Alexa Bliss? What has she got going on?
She's been protected just now. She's obviously of value in the general title scene. Obviously Vince sees something in her that she keeps getting the title back, and she holds the title for a long time. So
I get that, but I need to see some sort of build for towards Paige or whoever.
Right. Well,
you know, I don't know. To me, it should be a fairly easy booking process to get to WrestleMania for the women. Like, very easy.
It should be, but they don't make it easy for themselves. So, 2
minutes. I'm on Twitter, right?
Right.
And Cena's trending, and I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Is it possibly that he's scheduled for Christmas Day versus Roman Reigns?
Is he?
I think there was something that came out about that.
What's this thing that's happening, this Facebook thing? This show on Facebook or something? This
mixed and matched?
Aye, but they've apparently ruined something for...
Aye.
Well, they have, because
I never read what it was they ruined, but...
Well, we don't know if we should say it then.
Aye, probably not, but I just seen that and I quickly passed by it earlier. Just that it embarrassingly ruined something for the pay-per-view already.
Well, they won't say anything about it then, so we'll just move on.
Aye. I don't see, does he nothing trend on Twitter?
I was on it just there. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know if it's just because he's on BBC making bloody Premier League picks. That might be it.
Fuck's sake.
Is he? Random.
But then I saw someone saying John Cena retired, but I don't know if they're just talking shit. Probably are.
It's unheard of. Maybe because you get that film out, or no?
It's Ferdinand, is it?
Real Ferdinand, aye. He plays him. It's a biopic of his life.
A white guy plays Rio Ferdinand.
So, see, we were talking about the Universal title match for the Rumble, which is possibly going to be a triple threat match. That has annoyed me greatly. There have obviously... Vince can't really think of a credible opponent to take on Lesnar. He's basically run out of folk that he thinks can do it. So he's thinking, right, I'll give Braun Strowman a shot because I don't know what I'm doing with him just now because he's been shoehorned into this Kane feud. So why don't I just put Kane in so it's just a monster triple threat? Obviously, Kane's going to be there to eat the pin so that Roman, there I've done called Strowman Roman again.
Yep.
So that Strowman can still look strong without being pinned, and so that Lesnar can have an easy victory, so that he goes on to face Roman Reigns at Mania. It's just really lazy, and I don't like it at all. It's a waste of see the Royal Rumble. You traditionally have really good world title matches. I don't see that being a good world title match. Kane's just too slow now to add anything of value to matches. And the Brock Lesnar Braun Strowman match for No Mercy was a bit of a dud as well. So,
a bit?
Aye, exactly.
Aye, maybe they'll try and make up for it.
I think, like, it's a shame for Kane. Like, folks just need to go back to like 15 years and you'll see how great Kane was. But now it's like you said, he's only in there to eat the pin, and at the same time to protect Braun. But I know you're saying that Vince has run out of folk for Brock to face. Outside of Finn, who would you assume? Who could you think would be worthy enough to be in that match?
Do they have to? Right, it's 4 hours. There's a Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. They've already got. They could easily have AJ face someone in a world title match, WWE title match, right? So there's one world title match you've got. There's plenty of mid-card shots. There's a couple of... Both tag team scenes are thriving at the moment. February for Raw is the Elimination Chamber match. Why can't they just put Lesnar in the Chamber match and save... They don't need to have him at the Rumble. He's not required.
Oh, really? You wouldn't... No, I don't agree with that.
It's a big four. It always appears like a big four.
But to me, it's bad enough that your fucking title wasn't defended every pay-per-view. Let alone... In my mind, probably the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. Mm-hmm. I know, he's got to be there. He's got to be there. And if it's option. And I think if it's not Finn, then it needs to be someone. I genuinely couldn't think right now who it could be if it wasn't Finn.
Could have been Samoa Joe again, I suppose.
It could have been, but I like what he is because he's obviously going to get the what's it called, the IC title.
IC.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, look, who is there that you could possibly have?
I would much rather have.
Unless you were somehow able to get Cena to appear at the Rumble, if he was available, because that would be a great match. Regardless of what people want to say, 2 part-timers, it would still be a good match.
Seen it too many times.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you're running out of people.
But think of this: has Brock Lesnar been in an Elimination Chamber match?
No. I think he has, like not recently, but he's been in one before.
No, I don't think so. He has. No,
I'm sure he has.
You could have Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, Finn, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and someone else. Fuck it, even put Kane in the Elimination Chamber match. You've got 6 guys, and there'd be chaos. A lot of big burly men there. That would be like a fun quality viewing point of view. I'd much rather see Brock Lesnar used at the Chamber pay-per-view than at the Royal Rumble.
No, but the Chamber match is probably going to be the one that will determine the number one contender.
And Barry, you said in the chat group that you don't think it will be Roman. Was that just a wee joke, or do you have another theory?
I just thought it was too obvious now. I just had a feeling that there might be some sort of swerve before Mania, because they've just got a habit of doing that recently. And just because he's the IC champion now, how does he go for that to a sudden main event in WrestleMania?
That's what I'm thinking. He drops the title between now and I think certainly between now and Elimination Chamber, but I think probably between now and Rumble. I think he might actually drop it on either the Christmas Day or the New Year's Day Raw, and then he'll win the Elimination Chamber number one contender match.
So a guy that held the IC title for the best part of 2 months, if that, of then to believe is the main event in WrestleMania. I think, if say there's 12 matches at Mania, I'll be watching 11 of them if that's the case.
I mean, the match him and Brock had at the last Mania was a fucking great match, I thought. But the problem the problem we're faced with now is if we believe this match is going to happen, in reality there's only going to be one winner, and that's what's kind of what ruining it.
That's
and
what
I don't. Like I said, I love Roman. I think Roman in ring's great. I think kind of Mike, he's whatever. But like I say, it's just too predictable what they're going to do, and then what's going to happen after that?
Exactly.
Aye, Roman probably drops the title at the next pay-per-view.
No, I think to be honest, I think what you're going to get after that is a long Roman reign.
Oh, I like what you did there.
If that is the case, then it would happen, you'd imagine.
No,
like, at least minimum to at least SummerSlam.
Aye.
He would hold that, but I think he might even hold it longer.
Well, traditionally speaking, something that they build for that long, the person they build it with the title ends up with a daft serious injury the following month. So he probably forfeits the title after all that.
The thing is, like,
that's a good point.
To Daniel Bryan.
And if you go look after Brock Lesnar beat Taker, for instance, he was just, he went on this absolute tear. Even in fact, no problem from when he beat Cena for the title, where he destroyed him. He went on an absolute tear and held the title for so long. I think we're going to get a very, very long Roman feud if and when he wins the title at Mania.
Say Brock has a change of mind and it's just like that last time where he just signs on a deal. I would think he would not lose the title then.
Oh, don't say that.
I think you can pretty much guarantee Roman's walking out of Mania with the title. And to be perfectly honest with you, see if that's the match you're going to go with, he fucking better walk out of Mania with the title.
You know what? You're
like
right.
we said in the chat earlier on, fucking done with Brock having the title.
I might not want the match, but if it's going to happen, I want it back on Roman so that we've got the match, the title defended monthly.
I'm just confused as to the fact that in December I know yet we could already tell you the end of this year's Mania, and we've been able to tell you that's probably the end of last year's.
Before last year's,
that's disappointing.
Aye, so I'm still right now. I couldn't tell you if it wasn't to be Roman, who would it be? I mean, a dream scenario if Roman didn't make it, then he could then go and we could finally have a Shield triple threat at Mania, but that won't happen now, I don't think so. I generally don't know who I'd put Brock against unless they were managing to line up with a sort of super return or somebody, I don't know.
And that's the problem, like, that when people when we're sitting here saying that the triple threat is going to be horrible, like, can you really think of someone other than Finn? Hold on. Right, there we go, that's a good match.
I'll be honest, I didn't say anything about that match being horrible. It didn't actually bother me if that was the case of that match.
The triple threat?
Aye, it doesn't bother me.
No, I'm saying, like, I personally probably wouldn't like it.
Aye.
And I know Clive won't either, and I'm assuming John Ross maybe not, but I'm just saying it, like, if we don't go in that direction outside of Finn, who the hell could they possibly put in that match?
I know.
That we haven't already seen quite recently. That's where it's difficult.
They've booked themselves into a corner with Brock dominating the whole roster near enough. Like the main event / upper mid card guys, Brock's ran through them all. So you're only left with Roman. It's annoying.
Aye, but it smells sort of. It'll make sense eventually, whatever it is they're planning. So interesting times.
It is. Speaking of interesting times, something that isn't interesting is Smackdown. Will we talk about that since we don't like it?
Is that us done talking about it now?
Aye, that's us finished. There we go. Enjoy Smackdown. So
you wouldn't believe that in a pay-per-view in the way.
Oh, I mean, come on. That was a pretty bad Smackdown this week again. The only thing that's of any sort of merit to it is I've got slight interest that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are in the main event feud, but I'm not liking how the main event feud's going. Shane McMahon is just eating up TV time. I don't know what's going on with Daniel Bryan. They keep teasing us with him, like when he came in Have you seen Smackdown, Barry?
I'm just in the process of watching that just now, actually. I'm in the Charlotte match. It doesn't matter anyway, because I've already made my mind up what happens in that match. So,
well, it's just the whole thing with Daniel Bryan. Will he, won't he screw them over and stuff like that? It's fine, but it's just not enough for me to have an interest in. Ricky?
I'm very, very interested in this match.
Right, on you go then.
Very. Because for the first time in a long, long time, I think I've convinced myself that Daniel Bryan's going to wrestle for WWE again. And this is a road beginning to it. And for that reason, and that reason alone, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I said last week that I think something like that Shane McMahon will get knocked down or knocked out and Daniel Bryan comes out and counts to 1, 2, 3. I still think that will probably happen in the sense that Shane might be up in their face and they might be arguing. Daniel Bryan tries to calm them down, and then there's some sort of like collision, and like whatever, Shane falls out of the ring, and then Daniel Bryan counts 1, 2, 3 for KO and Sammy to win, which further teases attention. I don't think you're going to get a full-on heel turn where Daniel Bryan suddenly attacks people and helps Kevin Owens and Sammy win. I don't see that. I think eventually you're going to see Shane turn on Daniel Bryan, and that will be your match at Mania, which we've said before. So I think this is the start of it, but that's the only reason why I'm excited for this match.
What about the rest of the card?
Well, Natalya and Charlotte is going to be excellent. I know that.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Even with the Lumberjacks?
That's fine. I don't really need them there, but the Lumberjills. But I don't really need them there. But
I've noticed they're no longer called Lumberjills anymore.
Oh, they're not. I know. Two of my favourites. So I'm really looking forward to that match. The Fatal 4-Way Tag match could just be awesome as well.
It could be.
And I'm actually interested in the US Triple Threat match because I think, I'm going to predict it, giving a prediction right now, I think Bobby Roode's going to win it. So for that reason, I'm excited because now finally Bobby Roode's got a purpose on the main roster. So I wouldn't say I'm like overly over the top, really desperate to see it, but I'm not as down on it as a lot of people. I'm some of the matches I've got an interest in, and for that alone, I'm interested to see the entire pay-per-view.
That's fair enough. If you're happy to see it, then that's a better mindset than quite a lot of folk have.
Well, I think even if you can just pick out one little thing, and that's what I'm doing. Like Daniel Bryan, that's the only reason why I'm interested in that match. Charlotte and Natalya, they're two of my favourite wrestlers. That's why I'm looking forward to that match. The Bobby Roode potential winning US title, that's why I'm looking forward to that. And the Fatal 4-Way for the tag match just has to be a good match. It just has to.
Yeah.
There's too much talent there, and the Usos and New Day have obviously got some chemistry, and so does Alpha in there, and obviously it could be the coronation of Rusev. So why wouldn't I be excited?
The one thing that annoys me about the tag match is I would have preferred if it was just the Usos versus Shelton and Chad Gable, because they won a title shot and they still haven't had it properly on their own yet, so I feel as if they've been shafted a wee bit.
Maybe they're doing this Fatal 4-Way just to fill it because they're looking at the Royal Rumble or whatever to have the Usos and Alpha.
Aye, and I think for sort of entertaining promo segments, it's going to be the New Day versus Aiden English and Rusev for a while.
I think they also base it on just looking back at previous pay-per-views. They'll say, well, majority of these SmackDown ones have been tagged, just a single tag match, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, sorry, but just two tag teams, so they've just mixed up a bit and made it a Fatal 4-Way.
And it'll be one person from each tag team that are in it.
What's the crackling noise?
Sorry, some random technical difficulties there, but we seem to be back with some nice ambient sound. What other matches? The 3-way match, US title. I don't really see a title change with this one yet. I think they're holding off for a Boxing Day Bobby Roode US title win. He'll win that on either the 26th of December or the 2nd of January. A match against Corbin. That's what I think will happen. They always have something significant always happens around New Year's time, I think, to bring in the New Year. So I think it'll be Roode winning the US title. What else? AJ, please win that match. AJ, please. My sanity and happiness in life rests on your Georgian shoulders.
You know, I saw a tweet earlier on, Nick, and I'm going to fucking pull it up because I typed up an absolute essay to reply to this guy and I deleted it because I was like, do you know what? I don't spout negative stuff on Twitter. So I'm not going to say who done it. Right, so it's guy basically says, everyone, do you realise that we got 6 months of Jinder as a champion to beat like top guys for him to then just lose to the future owner of the company in his home country of origin? It's like, mate, you actually think Vince McMahon planned out 7 months of Jinder beating Randy Nakamura to lose the title to AJ the week before the Indian tour to then get beat off Triple H in India? Like, that's what you're saying?
Andy's Canadian and all.
Like, get yourself to fuck. Like, people just need to accept the fact that Jinder's reign wasn't that great, but when people turn around and say this is one of the worst reigns ever, bloody, were you no fucking there when David Arquette won the fucking title for WCW? Or when Vince fucking McMahon won the fucking Rumble and won a title as well?
But that was exciting stuff. This is boring.
Was it? Fuck.
You calm down.
Jinder's second match with Orton was good. The one who was in St. Louis with Ric Flair and Cowboy Bob Orton in the front row. That was a good match.
See the tweet? Was it? I hope it wasn't someone from the Social Suplex crew.
Fuck knows, I think it was.
So, if it was someone from the team that tweeted that, I apologise for Ricky's comments. He didn't mean it because the rain was bad.
I don't think it is someone from the Social Suplex crew, to be honest. And if it is, fuck yous, because you're full of shite.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
I think it's been a dreadful run. It's to the point where I didn't care at all. I just wanted the title off Jinder. It wasn't a case of Vince winning the Rumble. That was interesting. That was entertaining. David Arquette, WCW, the less said about WCW, the better. But I thought that was quite good when Vince won the Rumble. See, back then we didn't realise.
That was annoying.
No, I'm not saying it's not good, it wasn't exciting, bloody bad, whatever, but you're sitting there saying we've had to deal with Jinder winning a title. At the end of the day, like, you fucking put a title on Vince McMahon, for fuck's sake.
See, this
like,
basically...
How is that credible?
The 6 months that Jinder held that title were like the most boring 6 months that SmackDown's had.
Right, and... No. Because SmackDown for a while was shite before Jinder got the title. And Jinder's not got the title and SmackDown's still shite.
SmackDown is still shite.
And people can say, oh, the Jinder experiment was a failure. Nah, the ratings haven't changed that much. The subscriptions in India haven't changed that much. It wasn't a failure, but it wasn't a success.
This has bothered you somewhat?
It bothers me when people talk shite. It does. It bothers me when people just saying absolute nonsense. And on top of that, you've got a lot of people out there who have just got their favourites and will just fail to acknowledge what someone's done some good work. It's weird. It's just weird. But in saying that, the sooner Jinder gets out the title scene, the fucking better.
For God's sake.
But it would be fucking hilarious though if Jinder won a title on Sunday.
I would never watch SmackDown again if Jinder won the title on Sunday.
I think he'll probably go to probably feud at the US title or something maybe.
He'll be at Wrestle Kingdom 12. And he'll beat Okada, and he'll have the title for like 12 years or something. Shall we calm things down a bit and do some predictions?
Yep.
Right, so first off, Mojo Rawley versus Zack Ryder in the Who Could Care Less feud. I have picked Mojo, as has JR. JR gave in his predictions earlier.
Is this on a pre? Is there a pre-show? Is there a pre-show?
It's Mojo versus Ryder in the pre-show.
Right. By the way, I know it's who cares and all that, but Mojo put a tweet out earlier on, and it was tweet where he was doing a promo at the Performance Centre. It was actually a pretty damn good promo. But in saying that, I'll go with Mojo.
He's not the worst guy ever, but he will hold the title soon. He'll beat AJ at the Rumble.
He'll win the Rumble
after beating AJ for the title, but
then he fights that American football guy that was front row in Mania.
Rob Gronkowski.
Aye, him.
Gronk.
Mojo versus Gronk. So what's your pick, Vicky?
Yeah,
there you go. Mojo.
Mojo, sorry. Barry?
Mojo for me as well.
And Mojo for everyone. A team who I've quite enjoyed their sickening tandem work is the Bludgeon Brothers versus Breezango. I've went for the Bludgeon Brothers in this one, and JR has also went for them. He has called them 2B. Barry?
Aye, same. There's no other option.
Ricky?
Yeah, I'm the same. Are they splitting Breezango up?
No, what they've done is they're taking the fashion files off.
And that's just going to be like on the network or the site or whatever.
Aye, WWE.com. I think the stuff that is. See the fashion files? They're taking them off of Smackdown and just putting them on the website instead.
How come?
Fuck knows.
Because they're trying to find ways of making Smackdown worse.
Nah, sounds like it.
So they're taking Breezango off.
I'll go the Brothers.
The Brothers of Bludgeon.
Yep.
That's what Woken Matt would call them. Right, so the women's title match. Ricky, what have you picked?
Charlotte.
I have picked Charlotte, and I'm going to give myself a bonus point if Carmella attempts a cash-in. See, I said attempt, not saying win. I'm playing it a wee bit safe, and it's just a bonus point that if Carmella attempts a cash-in, I will get a bonus point, but I'm picking Charlotte. Barry?
Charlie for me as well.
Charlie. And JR has said that Ms. Flair will win the title. The US title three-way dance between Robert Roode, Dolph Lundgren and Baron Corbin. Ricky, you said you were picking Roode, didn't you? A wee surprise win for Ricky Roode. Barry?
I took both of. I think you both made good points. I think there's a possibility of, like you said, Clive, a Boxing Day change of hands or the start of the new year. But I agree with Ricky here, and I think the title changes hands at class. I was going to say TLC there, so that's normally the event at the end of the year, but it's the Clash of the Champions. So Bobby Roode for me.
You two have went for Roode, and JR and I have went for Corbin. So we've swapped that over. The four-way tag match. I have went for the Usos, as has JR, and I'm also giving myself another bonus point if one of English or Rusev takes the pin as well. I think they'll be the one that take the pin.
Wait, so you're just dishing out bonus points for yourself?
You can all have bonus points if you want, and that's the only two bonus points I'm doing.
Alright, fair enough. Well, I'll say the Usos win this, and I'll take a bonus point if the guy in the front row fucking flings a pint in the ring. And if he doesn't, I take 40 points off me.
I'll just say Usos to win.
Okay. No bonus points yet for anyone?
Nope.
Nah, well, I'll leave mine for the main event, I think.
Well, AJ versus
Well,
Jinder.
I don't actually know what that will be yet, but
Well, we're assuming that it'll be Team Canada versus Team Rotten and Nakamura. AJ versus Jinder. I'm guessing we're all saying AJ here, yeah?
Yep. Oh, excuse me.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton, Shinsuke
I never
Nakamura.
made my pick.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Go on, tell us you want Jinder then. You're a Jinder sympathiser.
So are you.
No, I'm not.
He's been harshly treated since he lost the title.
I've seen that comment for you guys. I tried to ignore it.
Did I not put LOL at the end of the text?
Yeah, but you were like, I thought you were genuinely laughing because you were like, that's actually true because we're actually sympathising.
Clive, you were being serious.
No, I wasn't.
I thought you were being serious. Anyway, I'll go AJ, but I'm not fully convinced. But yeah, I'll say AJ.
Right, so last one, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm going for Team Sami and Kevin. JR has went for Team Yip, and he's given himself a bonus point if Brian screws Shane. Barry?
I agree. It'll be Sami and KO for the victory. I'm quite glad you never asked me my opinion earlier on this match because this is one of my classic swerve ones that I enjoy.
Your curveball?
Aye, my curveball, aye. I think we're looking at the wrong guy screwing people here. I think it's a classic Shane McMahon screw job here, and he's the one that saves Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
After all,
classic. Yep. After all
That's a hell of a prediction. I like that.
It's a typical McMahon thing to do.
I like that.
The way they're focusing on Daniel Bryan is if he's the one to screw it over. I think I realised last week it's when Shane made the announcement he was a ref, it was his face and it was Daniel Bryan's face after. I was like, this sneaky. It's a classic McMahon storyline, this, that's because this is the thing, like I said, this pay-per-view is a nothing pay-per-view really, and they've got to blow it out of the water with something crazy, and if this is the last match, I've very high hopes of this being the case, that Shane screws
interesting.
Daniel Bryan, so that's my bonus point for that.
Ricky?
I will go Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and my two bonus points will come. My first bonus point will be if Randy Orton takes a pin, and my second bonus point will be if Nakamura takes a pin.
Well,
no, I'm joking. Right, that's my. No, I can't take bonus points for that.
You need to stop lying to me.
You need to what? Sorry.
Stop lying to me.
Okay. Am I going to air this out on air?
No.
So no, I will Kevin Owens and Sami, and I'll take a bonus point if I'll say either Shane gets sort of distracted or he gets knocked down or whatever, and it's Daniel Bryan who counts a 1, 2, 3. So that's my actual. So it's not even a case of, even if it's Daniel Bryan counts it, but Shane still watches him do it or whatever. But Shane has to get like either distracted or he gets knocked out the ring or he's knocked out or whatever. That's my official where I get a point. So if that actually doesn't happen, then I don't get it. Okay.
So I've got all the predictions. So far it's a 7-match pay-per-view, including the pre-show. JR is catching up with us all on 50. I'm on 63, Barry's on 64, and Ricky's in the lead with 65. So let's see how that turns out prediction-wise. The Shane one's interesting, Barry, I have to say.
Can I just say I've not read that anywhere either. That's just my own feeling.
I'll also say that I wish that happens. That would be excellent.
It's a perfect end. It's a perfect end to a nothing pay-per-view.
That would be a real curveball.
Mm-hmm. However, I would say if I find that the AJ match is last, I would probably say that won't happen, and that I think Jinder would probably win the title if that's the case.
Oh Christ!
See, I don't think that will be last then.
What, the AJ?
I think it'll be the.
If there's no title change, it'll be the tag match, and that 6 screw job I'm talking about will happen.
Right. So, shall we finish the night with a quiz?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep.
That was just random as hell.
I wasn't a fan of it, to be honest, but it's funny.
The t-shirt's quite good.
Aye, that is a good wee touch. And if you actually say it out loud and shout it, it's quite humorous.
I think it just sort of adds in and it adds to the tease that Daniel Bryan might be turning.
Because the t-shirt's back.
In a way, like they've brought this t-shirt in, and it makes you wonder. You know what I mean? Are they all in it together? Daniel Bryan and those two. I don't know.
Right, so quiz time starts now.
It's fucking quiz time with Ricky and Clive and friends. A fucking WWE quiz.
And it's going to be a December, like a sort of December in WWE themed quiz, mostly pay-per-views and a couple of other things that happened around the time. Number one. So, in Armageddon 1999 Armageddon, what screw job happened to close the show?
It's me, it's BAZ.
Okay, BAZ.
Stephanie turns and Vince.
Correct.
Saves Triple H to win the match.
Well done. That was like one of the first pay-per-views I remember watching.
Triple H and Vince, was it?
Aye, in a random main event.
Was that a stipulation, that match? Was it?
I can't remember
No,
exactly.
I think it was just for it was a no holds barred actually.
Aye, because I remember it being all over the arena.
Was it? I don't know if it was it for a title or was it just a no holds barred? I don't think it was for a title.
Well,
Was that at that random time the Big Show was still champ?
That might have been.
well, don't say anything
did
else.
you know-
Hold on, no, you can't, because that might ruin something to do with the quiz later on. We'll talk about that later. Oh shit. Number two. Who did Chris Jericho face in a last man standing match at Armageddon 2000? The same year as that sick way Hell in a Cell match.
Aye, that's right,
I spit in the faces of people who don't want to be cool.
Ricky?
Mayor Glenn Jacobs.
Is he the mayor now?
Senator? Is it a senator?
He's the president.
President? No, no comment. No comment on that.
So, is he the mayor? Did he win?
No, I don't think it's took place yet.
Was the answer right though, aye?
Aye, sorry, we got sidetracked a belter there.
No, I don't think that's taking place yet. I think it might actually take place after the Rumble. I think they're still doing their whole.
Oh well, Kane's winning the title, isn't he? And he's going to have the title at the press conference when he wins the mayorship.
I saw a tweet, and I don't know if it was a piss take or it was a real thing, but there was a photo of Kane, and it was just doing the rounds on Twitter. It was vote for this man or he'll burn your family or something like that.
In 2009, which current superstar won their first WWE title at the TLC pay-per-view?
It's me, it's BAZ.
Okay, Barry.
Sheamus.
Well done.
Sorry, who did you say?
Sheamus.
Oh, right.
It was against Zena, wasn't it? A tables match.
Tables match.
Aye.
And
did we speak about Sheamus' injury, last week?
It just
I thought that was going to get mentioned earlier, actually.
We had just talked about it after I'd finished sort of editing last week's podcast, so that's a gutter.
It was a shame. Don't know, and again, he's fucking still wrestling, so is it true? Is it serious? Who knows?
He commented himself saying, because it showed him, he's got some, I don't know, it's some mad gym equipment thing he's got around his neck. He's got to stretch out with this.
Right.
Certain times a day or something. There was an interview with him confirming this, but I didn't actually see how serious the neck injury is, but apparently it's the same as, like you said, Edge and that.
Geez, oh man, that's rough. That is rough.
Hopefully...
He's been excellent this last sort of 18 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's been excellent. He's hopefully starts taking it a bit easy and make sure he prolongs his career, because the tag team with the Bar is just amazing. Love it.
Thing is, I don't even know if you can prolong your career once you've had this injury. I think once you've got it, that's it. Like, there's no possible way to sort of slow down what's about to happen or stop what's about to happen. I don't know.
Right.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
My leg just had a cramp. Oh no. I'll let it go, sorry.
He has actually hung up, hasn't he?
I think he has.
I'll pause it a wee second.
I've received a call. Hold on, I'm trying some back.
Make sure this bit doesn't make a podcast.
You've woke the dog up and everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barry has just been stricken with cramp and he's okay now.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Right. In 2014, on the New Year's Eve episode of Raw, how did Seth Rollins force Cena to say that he wanted to reinstate the Authority? Is that a bit of a mouthful? You want me to repeat the question?
Funnily enough, I know what you're talking about, but I repeat it again.
Right, so it was a 2014 New Year's Eve episode. I think it was New Year's Eve, and Seth Rollins basically forced Cena to say, "I want to reinstate the Authority." How did he do that?
Oh, what was that again?
I can give you a clue.
No,
No, hold on, actually. Oh, I nearly had it. I don't want to help Clive, Ricky be mentioned, but it was pretty sure he was in the verge of beating somebody up.
Right, remember your buzzers now.
I know.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Ricky.
Was he not threatening to beat up Edge?
Oh, that was all.
Aye.
He was going to give him the curb stomp unless Cena came down and stopped him or whatever, or reinstated the Authority.
Spot on, well done. That was it. He was going to break his curb stomp him onto the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh, thanks, Barry.
Thank you. I get half a point for that.
So it's two each. We have a decider. 20 years ago, tomorrow in fact.
Sake.
I know, but this is quite significant, so calm yourself. 20 years ago tomorrow, for us, or if you're listening to this podcast after, the 15th of December 1997, Vince McMahon cut a very important on-screen promo. What was the basis of this promo? Now, the promo was not in the ring, it was like in front of a curtained area backstage.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Ricky?
It was a birth of the Attitude Era.
Correct, well done. So, as of the 15th of December, we are entering 20 years later from the start of the Attitude Era. How's that? So that was the quiz this week goes to Ricky. Would you like to hear one of the decider questions that I had?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right, so back to Armageddon 99. In the lead up to their match, who started a poem with deepest regrets and tears that are soaked?
In what year, sorry?
Armageddon 99. In the lead up to the match, someone had a promo and they had a poem, and the poem started with deepest regrets and tears that are soaked.
The Big Bossman.
Basically, the Big Bossman wrote a poem about Big Show's dad dying.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't remember that.
do you
Because remember there was a whole thing at the funeral and that, and the hearse was driving away and Big Show was hanging on to the end of it. The back end and stuff that was driving away. It was.
Do you want to hear the poem?
Horrible storyline.
Do you want to hear the poem in its entirety?
Oh, fuck.
With the deepest regrets and tears that are soaked, I'm sorry to hear that your dad finally croaked. He lived a full life on his own terms. Soon he'll be buried and eaten by worms. But if I could have a son as stupid as you, I'd have wished for cancer so I would die too.
Jesus.
So be brave and be strong, get your life on track, 'cause the old bastard's dead and he ain't never coming back.
Fucking hell.
Can you believe that fucking happened?
That's outrageous. That is outrageous.
And then I think later, weeks later, the Bossman died on her. No, years later.
So that brings the night to an end. Pardon me, gents, while I do some plugging here. If you've enjoyed the show, then be sure to rate and review us, as well as the SMC Wrestling Show, Keeping It Strong Style, One Nation Radio, and the One Nation Live. Do that. You can do that on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher. We've even got the shows on YouTube, by the way. I don't know if you knew that, guys.
Yeah, didn't know that.
It's on YouTube under One Nation Wrestling, so if you fancy just watching it on the telly, the computer, then you can do that there. If you've not enjoyed the show, then we don't want to hear from you at all, so don't bother leaving a review.
You can go fuck yourself.
We are on Twitter at Ricky and Clive, on Facebook at Ricky and Clive, and speaking of Facebook, check out Social Suplex's Facebook group, the Wrestling Squared Circle, for general discussion about all things wrestling. There we go, the plug's over. Thanks for joining me tonight, gentlemen. Have you got any final blessings or wishes for us to pass to our listeners, Barry?
Yeah, I'll see you back here next week when Shane McMahon has screwed the world.
That can be the title of the show, Shane McMahon Screws the World. Ricky?
No, just same shout outs that you made, especially all the guys on Social Suplex.
And if it was someone on Social Suplex that put that tweet out about Jinder, then Ricky apologises, don't you, Ricky?
Nope.
Oh, Jesus. You'll be in trouble.
Shout out to John Ross as well, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, so hopefully we get John Ross next week as well.
Aye, we'll get him
It'll
on
be good to get him back in.
And I will do a shout out to myself for producing this show. There we go. Right, thanks for listening, and try your best to enjoy Clash of Champions.
Shout out to Between the Ropes.
You couldn't help yourself, could you?
Almost.
Thanks, and good night.
Good night, guys.
Take care, guys.